today's class we are going to discuss about messaging and reporting mechanisms. So usually we have just under lot dollar display, dollar monitor, dollar stroke, the dollar write those things to print. Okay. Here in UVM we have few reporting mechanisms, reporting macros and reporting methods are available. So those things are available inside UVM report object. UVM report object is inherit from UVM object. Inside the UVM report object, we have some set of methods, okay, that can be used to report messages in order to facilitate debug. Okay. So these are the methods available. Okay, UVM report info, UVM report warning, UVM report error, and UVM report pattern. So this has different severity. Info has less severity, okay, and warning has little bit high severity than info, then error, then fatal. Fatal has highest severity level. Okay, when fatal happens, okay. So when fatal is encountered or when it fatal happens, it stops the simulation at that time. It come out from the simulation. So when error happens, so it will count the number of errors and it will display at the end of the simulation. So UVM info and UVM warning, it will just display during the simulation. So this you can see in the transcript or log file, okay, after while running the simulation. So these are the methods, reporting methods available in UVM report object. So first one is UVM report info. This is the method available. So here these are the arguments. First one is string ID. Here we can mention from where I am displaying, from which component. Okay. That ID you can give. And string message. This is the actual message we have to display. That you can give here. Then in verbosity. So verbosity I will explain in next slide. Okay. So there are different types of verbosity like UVM full, UVM high, UVM low, UVM medium, and UVM none. Okay. So based on the verbosity level we are mentioning, it decides whether we want to display this the line. By using this function, we are going to display a particular message. Whether you want to display this message or not, that is decided by this verbosity level. Okay, that we will discuss later. Okay, then string file name. So here from which file I am going to display, and the line number. Default is 0, and you can also give the line number. So these are the it is not mandatory; it is optional. We don't need to give those things. Okay. So we have a tick file, tick underscore file, then tick underscore line. Okay. So these are the macros available. This will help to access the file and the line number. So usually we are not recommended to use these reporting methods which is available in UVM report object. We are using the macros. Okay. So that we will see next slide. So the same thing as I explained here, UVM report info. The same way you have UVM report warning method and UVM report error, UVM report pattern. These are the methods available in UVM report object. Generally, we prefer or recommend to use these macros. Okay. These macros, this is just a wrapper of that report methods. Okay. UVM info, UVM report info. With the help of that, these macros are built. Okay. So it will very simple, and here internally it uses these macros. Tick underscore file underscore and tick underscore line underscore. These are the macros. This automatically display the file and the line number. When you use this UVM tick macro or UVM warning macro, UVM error or UVM pattern macro. Here if you see the only info have the verbosity level. The remaining warning, error, and fatal don't have the verbosity level. Defaultly, the verbosity level of these warning, error, fatal is UVM none. Okay. So what happens when you give UVM none? That we will see next slide. And to display the file and line number information. Okay. So you can use this UVM report disable file line. In the command line, if you give this one, it will automatically disable this macro. So you won't get these things, the line number, okay, and the file name during the display statement. So this is the way you have to use this macro, UVM info, this macro I'm using here on example. Take UVM info within the bracket. First you have to mention the ID. So I am using this dispenser as the driver. So I am mentioning the ID as driver, and what message you have to print, that you have to mention in the double quote driver data, and you have to mention the verbosity level. So in case instead of this string, if I want to display the value in a particular format, I have to use this $s format f. Okay. Within the bracket, same way how you will display a particular format of value of a data. You can write data equal to percentage 0d comma data. So the data value will be displayed in decimal format. If you want to display in a particular format, you have to use like this. The remaining are set, the ID and the verbosity level. Here I mentioned UVM file. So in transcript or log file, you will get the display like this. If I use UVM info, I will get UVM info and the location of the file, okay, and line number. This is the time, at what time this happened. Then this is the scope where the component is available, and this is the drive ID which I give here, driver, and the whatever you have mentioned here, that will be displayed here. So in this way you will get at the output. Okay, now I am explaining about verbosity level. Okay, so here at the third argument we are passing the verbosity. Okay. Here you can mention UVM none or UVM low, UVM medium, UVM high or UVM full. So in the command line argument, while you start the command, you are inserting the run, right? So during the line, command line, you have to mention plus UVM verbosity equal to, you have to mention the level of the verbosity. Okay. For example, so here now, if I mention UVM none in the UVM info, here, assume that I am mentioning UVM none here. Okay. So it is independent of the verbosity level. I am going to set here. Okay. So each time when you do simulation, automatically the macro which you mentioned with UVM none, it will display automatically. So for this warning error pattern, default verbosity level is UVM none. Okay. So it is independent of the verbosity set. So it will be displayed at all the times. So if I set UVM low here, if I set UVM low, okay. So in command line argument, if I mention UVM low, I will get the display of that macro. Okay. If I mention UVM medium, that time also I will get the display. If I set UVM high here, that time also I will get. When I set UVM full, that time also I will get. That means when I set the verbosity level here, the below level, okay, will be displayed. For example, if I set UVM medium in my display macro, info macro, okay. So here if I set UVM medium, I will get the display of that particular statement. Okay. So if I set UVM low, I won't get the display because in the macro I set UVM medium. Here I am setting UVM low. So only I will get the display of the macro which I gave as UVM low and UVM none. I won't get UVM medium. Okay. The setting macro level should be higher than the given macro level. Okay. For example, if I set UVM high here, if I set UVM high, here if I assign plus UVM verbosity equal to UVM high, I can able to get that display. Okay. Here instead of UVM high, if I give UVM medium or UVM low, I won't get this display which I mentioned UVM high. Okay. Then UVM full. When I will get the UVM full macro, if I for a macro, if I assign UVM full, when I will get this display when I set my UVM verbosity level as UVM full. The lower order verbosity level, if I assign, I won't get this UVM full. If I assign UVM high or UVM medium, UVM low, I won't get it. If I get UVM full here, okay, plus UVM verbosity equal to UVM full, I will get all the space. Okay. So this is the concept of verbosity level. So it will decide whether we want to display the statements. Okay. So that's all about today's class. So Monday we will discuss about config DB.